Good morning, beloveds. So I got my maintained yesterday, which is why I took the day off. The advantage of not having a 365 is that I can take a day off occasionally, which is probably a good thing because it looks like we're going to be in chapter 14 probably most of the week. It's a very long chapter, but here we are. And it's interesting that I'm starting on I apparently don't know the date, which I should know the date. It's June 2nd. It's my mom's birthday. So, if she happens to watch this, because she says she does occasionally, happy birthday, Mom. All right, let me grab my glasses. So, we are on chapter 14, and the title of the chapter, now mind you, we are in part 3 of spiritual mind. We're in the let me get my words in order. We are in part 3. We are in spiritual mind healing, the second division, practice. Okay, so we are going to start with a chapter titled physical perfection. And like I said, it's a very long chapter. We're just going to get through it as we get through it. And we are starting with what we understand about healing. And I think that is all we are going to do because it's a really long section. So that's all we're going to do. One section today. One section of chapter 14. All right. There is no question that people throughout the ages have been healed through prayer and faith, that they have mentally contacted a healing law in this spiritual universe of law and order. How did they contact this law? All prayer is mental, being a certain mental attitude, a certain way of thinking, a certain way of believing, an uplifting process, a belief in God. Some prayers fall short of this state, while others reach a state of spiritual awareness. We come to understand then that the answer to prayer is in the prayer when it is prayed. The belief of the one praying sets in motion the law of love, which is the fundamental law of the universe. People's life, in reality, is spiritual and mental, and until their thought is healed, no form of cure will be permanent. We understand that health is a mental as well as a physical state. We seek to heal people's mentalities, knowing that to the degree in which we are successful, we shall also be healing their bodies. We know, too, that the degree in which we are able to see the perfect person, they will appear. We feel that the spiritual or real person is perfect, and we seek to uncover this perfection, which is within every person's life. This is spiritual mind healing. On a side note, when I was in my undergraduate anthropology, I took a class on medical anthropology. And the biggest difference between the Eastern mindset and the Western mindset in healing is exactly that. The Western mindset, Western healing focuses on the body. They focus on suppressing symptoms. Whereas the Eastern mindset focuses on looking for the root cause and understanding that to affect permanent healing, that you must take care of the mind and the soul as well as the body. And it's what sent me into, when I became a practitioner, I was like, okay, well, that takes care of the mind. And then I went into ministerial school because that helps to take care of the soul. Now, Ernest Holm uses the term soul differently than I just did, which is one of the reasons why I struggle a little bit with his terminology. So, if you want to affect true healing of the body, You must attend to the emotional and spiritual and mental person as well. All right, back to the reading. A person will deliver themselves from sickness and trouble in exact proportion to their discovery of themselves and their true relationship with the whole. Law is law wherever we find it, and we shall discover that the laws of mind and spirit must be understood if they are to be consciously used for definite purposes. The spirit knows, and the law obeys. Hidden away in the corner, or in the inner nature of real person, is the law of their life. As the laws of God are broad, so shall we be in dealing with them. In this science, we believe that a person's life is a drama which takes place on three planes. Ernest and his punctuation there got me. The physical, the mental, and the spiritual. We shall have no objection to any form of healing, for anything that helps overcome suffering is good, whether it be a pill or a prayer. Let me repeat that line. It is super, super important. We should have no objection to any form of healing, for anything that helps to overcome suffering is good, whether it be a pill or a prayer. We believe in any method which produces results, for each has its place in the whole. Why do I repeat that? Because there are people who will say, well, if you just pray right, you won't need the pill. You know what? Get off my case. And I will say that because I did spend 2 years on an antidepressant, and because at the moment I am currently taking 3 prescriptions to manage my symptoms. Now, do I pray that there comes a day? Do I pray that there comes a day? Do I pray that the day is now? Because I'm supposed to put it in present tense, that I won't need the prescriptions? Of course. But I want to live my life in relative, comfort, and these prescriptions make it easier to do that. So, that's why I repeated the line. Don't ever let anybody beat you up over taking a prescription for anything. All right? I got your back. Back to the reading. We believe in every church and in all forms of worship. Above all, we certainly believe in God. Because truth is infinite, it must be continuously unfolding in the consciousness of people, and no one will ever have a complete understanding of truth. A complete understanding of truth would be a complete understanding of God, and a complete comprehension of God would be to become God. We know that more light will be given as we use that which we have, and we repudiate any belief which says that all truth has been given. We realize that mental healing must also be spiritual healing, for the two cannot be divorced. We know that a belief in duality, a belief in the power of good, and a belief in the power of evil has helped to destroy people, and the understanding of unity. Ernest and his punctuation. I swear to you, it's going to get me every time. And the understanding of unity alone will heal them. We seek to realize this unity with God in all our healing work. Every treatment must carry with it a realization of God if it is to be a good treatment. We are not in any way superstitious about this, but understand that it is necessary, since all life is one and God is the one life in which we all live. We realize that since our understanding is not yet complete, it is legitimate to use all methods which help troubled humanity. but we do look forward to a day when truth alone will answer every need. That's what I'm talking about. The mental healer will do all of their work in mind and will give their whole time and attention to correct knowing, but they will leave their patient free to use any method that will benefit them. In this way, the practitioner will get the best results, for everything is good as far as it goes. But the consciousness of truth alone is the tool of the spiritual practitioner. Now, he's making a big deal out of this because we are not Christian Science. All right. It's very important to remember that we are science of mind or religious science, not Christian Science, because Christian Science did and may still frown upon going to doctors. Now, Christian Science also has an extremely good, what is the word I am looking for? Track record with mental healing, the spiritual healing. They have an excellent track record of it, but they frown upon going to doctors. We do not. We encourage you to go to doctors as you need. As he says, we don't frown upon any method. Use whatever method you want. However, the practitioner, the only method the practitioner is going to use is spiritual treatment. Okay? Mind treatment. So, all right, back to the reading. Too much cannot be said against the belief that willpower is creative. The will is directive, but not creative. Will is the conscious directive power of the intellect, and as such has a very important place in the creative order, but in no case is it to be used as though it could force things to happen. Any side of using the will influence people is a mistake. If we agree that we can influence others by willpower, then we are also admitting that someone else has greater power of will, with a greater power of will, can influence us. There is no law of nature that works only one way, since all natural laws are impersonal. The temporary effects of willpower continue only so long as the will forces them to. They have no real life within themselves and must disintegrate as soon as the unnatural force is withdrawn. Which gives you a new understanding of not my will, but thy will be done. Moreover, this use of willpower contradicts the main foundation upon which all true mental science is built, that we use a creative power which does not need to be urged or forced into action. It is its nature to act, and because we are as we are, it is its nature to act creatively upon the images of thought that we impress with it. We do not create energy, we distribute it. And in the natural sciences, we know that we can transform energy from one type to another. So the will may decide what form the energy is to take, but it cannot, nor does it need to, create the energy. Alrighty then, Ernest. I'm down with this. All right. The energy of mind, like other natural energies, already exists. We merely use it, and it is within our province to use it. It is okay. I'm telling you, Ernest's punctuation. Let me start over on that paragraph. The energy of mind, like other natural energies, already exists. We merely use it, and it is within our provenience to use it in any way we may desire. We have within our power to cause it to take varying forms for us. No particular one is permanent. The imagination is creative and the will is directive. Now see, that line is almost throwaway. No particular one is permanent. Things are always moving into form and out of form. No particular form is permanent. All Ernest. Love ya. All right. Through will, we decide just what we wish to have done. We may wish to use the creative power of mind for helping someone else, for self-help, or for some other purpose. The will holds attention to the mental viewpoint until the creative power has time to work through the law of unfoldment. We may wish on the one hand to draw some information to ourselves. The will then holds to the idea that we are receiving the desired information. It can become active or receptive, or it may pass into a state of neutral contemplation where its purpose is merely to sense the wonders of the spiritual life. But in no case does the will become creative. This is an interesting treatise on will that I didn't remember. All right. The will is given us to protect ourselves with. Nothing should be allowed to pass into the creative currents of our thought until the will has first admitted it. The will must first analyze, dissect, and then decide what it wishes the inner imagination to work on. True spiritual work will strengthen the will without exhausting the mind. If our mental work tires us, then we are using the will in the wrong way. The right way would be to determine to think peace, whether there appears to be any reason to expect that peace would be forthcoming in the experience. This is really interesting. All right. As we should understand the proper use of will, so we should understand the true meaning of concentration. So many different ideas have been promulgated that a great deal of confusion results. To concentrate means to bring into a center, and in mental science, it means focusing the mental attention on some definite and desired thought, image, idea, or thing. Of course, we are dealing with an idea as though thoughts were things. The spirit of the thing is in the thought. This is the essence. This is its essence, law, and cause. Concentration of thought is not an effort to compel, but a desire to permit the stream of creative energy to take a definite form. That's a really good one. Hang on, let's reread that. Concentration of thought is not an effort to compel, but a desire to permit the stream of creative energy to take a definite form. To try and force, through concentration, would be to give ourselves an adverse suggestion and bring upon ourselves the very opposite to our wishes through recognizing an opposite to the power of good. And in all accord with well-known and defined mental law in the spiritual world. And all in accord with the well-known and defined mental law. Sometimes he makes these leaps and now I'm confused. All right, next paragraph. We concentrate our attention. The law creates the form. This will solve one of the divine riddles which arise out of the teachings of Jesus. He was always telling his followers to believe, to have faith, and then he plainly said, who by taking thought can add 1 cubit to their stature? Here he tells us not to take thought. The riddle is solved the moment we place thought, imagination, will, and concentration where they rightly belong in the creative order. A good psychological balance is struck when the will and the emotions are rightly poised. That is, when the intellect first decides what the emotions are to respond to. After the intellect has made this decision, then the imagination is called into play and the game of living commences. It is the office of the will to determine that which the imagination is to respond. Okay, Ernest is playing games with words, but All right. And when I say playing games with words, he's using them in ways that I'm not used to. So it's interesting. We're almost finished. Got a page left. One of the most important things for us to remember is that we are always causing something to be created for us, and that whatever cause we have set in motion must produce some kind of an effect. If we are producing the effects, we should like to, oh no, that's a question. Are we producing the effects we should like to experience? The creative process will go on willy-nilly. We cannot beat nature at its own game, for we are some part of the game. We are some part of the game she is playing. Shall the result in our lives be a comedy or a tragedy? We are given the will to decide the issue. We should carefully consider whether we are willing to experience the results of our thoughts. There should never be any hurt in them for ourselves or anyone else. We may be sure that if there is hurt for others, there must also be hurt for ourselves. As we sow, so shall we reap. But here is no real limitation, for the creative life wishes us to have all that we can use. If we keep our thoughts fixed upon the idea that this energy, which is also intelligence, is now taking the form of some desire in our lives, then it will begin to take this form. If we change the desire, then it will change the form. Therefore, there must be a definite purpose in our imagination. We are so one with the whole that what is true of it is also true of us. We are one with the unmanifest substance whose business it is to forever take form, and we are one with the law which gives form. The entire order is one of the spontaneous being and the spontaneous manifestation. The law follows the word just as the word follows the desire. The desire arises from the necessity of the universe to become self-expressed. The law follows the word follows the desire, the word gives form to the substance, and the principle of subjective law produces the manifestation. There is no effort in the process whatsoever. That's easy for Ernest to say, right? What we concentrate, then, is attention. This is done through intention, and the willingness to hold thought centered until the form appears. It is unnecessary to learn any methods of concentration whatsoever if these simple rules are followed. He makes it sound easy. And the truth is, it really is easy. We have overcomplicated it. That is the human experience. All right. So we are finally done with that one section. So we are going to pick this up. We're going to pick it up on page 195 at the very bottom with the section we are allowed to choose tomorrow. I will give you a couple of the usual housekeeping. I will remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center and Creative Life Spark on the social medias that we are on. I am the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So that's where I'm archiving this. So if you want to go back and listen to anything, don't want to scroll through all the videos on Facebook, go to the Running Rev Ryan social media or YouTube page, because I'm doing them in sections. So you don't have to listen to the whole chapter. If there's a particular part that you wanted to rehear. I am going to move them eventually to the Creative Life Spiritual Center, but they will go in whole chapters on the Creative Life page so that I'm not cluttering up the Creative Life page. All right. I've just gotten a little bit behind because I have to download them into a software to knit them together. So, one of the easiest ways that you can support the center is by going to our social medias, mine and the center's. And I'm sure David Dewhurst has a social media too. So go and like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, do all that kind of stuff. It bumps us in the algorithms, and we appreciate it. Thank you. All it costs you is a click. If you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That would get you on the constant contact. You get 1 email a week, and the hot links are up. If it says click here now, it'll take you right to the information you want or the person that can help you get it. The other thing is our website is up, so you can go to creativelife.org. We are working on a new website that will have new bells and whistles, but we're happy to have this one back up. So, all right. If the information's a little weird, that's why. So, okay. What was I about to say? I don't know. So I'm just going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, go dance in the rain day. I've said that a lot because it's been raining every day. Fortunately, because I lost power for about 15 minutes yesterday. This weather, we're not ready for the heat, but all right. Hug a friend day, call a friend day, hug your fur baby day, a silly day, get some stuff done day, a rest day, maybe we'll see the sun day, I don't know what to wear day, I'm running out of adverbs and adjectives and words day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You're spirit in motion, God in action, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right, beloveds, explore the truth of your being. All right? Get to know who you are. That's part of what the Science of Mind text is about, even though I'm constantly complaining about Ernest's use of punctuation. If you're reading along with me, you understand. There's punctuation in unexpected places. And then where you expect punctuation, there isn't. And you're like, wait, what? And then he uses words, and you're like, it makes me want to quote The Princess Bride. I don't think that word means what you think it means. But Ernest is a law unto himself, so we go with it, right? All right, beloveds, I'm going to remind you, Reverend Dave will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m., but it is Sunday, so in less than an hour, because it is 10:05 now, we will have an amazing service for you. So I'm going to go eat breakfast so that I can get out of here and get to the service. Take care of yourself, know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.